And a pleasant good morning to you. It is time to go live from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott with the morning steam for Wednesday, November 1st. Did everyone get their candy? Did everyone have hopefully a unfrightful night? Way some of those games went. The World Series, Texas Rangers now within one game of winning their first ever World Series title. The Rangers blast the Diamondbacks with those 5 runs early and cruise to victory. The Diamondbacks some consolation runs there for a massive over last night. How did you do in the World Series? And wow, can you believe the Rangers have moved to within a game of winning their first title? I mean, that's I don't 3-1, wins in a series. You guys know how it goes when you get to that point of the season. I mean, 3 wins, you're there. It's pretty much it. But we'll see. Will it be tonight? One more game at least, and we'll see how it goes. We'll talk about it. We'll preview it with a featured game of the night, game 5 of the World Series. Let's say hello to a few people and talk about what we're going to talk about here on the show for today. And other breaking news, certainly. I know everybody wants to. Well, I don't know if you want to cover it or not. Doesn't matter. I'm going to cover it here with big news overnight. So let's say hello to some friends, talk about some more action maybe from last night's, small card, but uh, NBA basketball yesterday with, I don't know what the feature attraction maybe was for you, but James Harden walked into the room in Los Angeles. The Clippers blasted the Magic in front of Harden as he gets ready to join the team. Probably not until the team goes to New York. The Clippers already expected to rest players in their game tonight against the Lakers. You guys might have seen that line on the move there for the Lakers. Looks pretty solid. The Clippers will be in rest mode tonight. A lot of people saying, that they do not think that the new rules will help uh, sort things out, but it does feel like we will know a little more in advance. I mean, today we'll see. I mean, seems like a pretty good experiment with Kawhi and Paul George. Pretty much looks like expected to sit. So we'll see if those follow through, and then we'll know maybe moving forward if we're going to be sure, right? Because that's why these rules were in there, and also to determine how we're going to work it out when we get to the in-season tournament. Talked about how you'll know when it's an in-season tournament game, and that is because you'll see court the courts that they'll use. It'll be a special court so that anytime you tune in to an in season game, what you'll end up seeing really is um, a, a different court, a fully painted court, and also the logo and things like that. So you'll just see a different. You'll know it's an in tournament game. Yeah, we may know. We'll talk about it every time. We'll say, hey, this is an in tournament game today and whatnot. But you'll know when you see it. Hello to Ferner today. Let's get those winners. Thomas says like and smash. Let's get it going here on the 40,000 subscriber juggernaut. Tony just days away from that milestone. Ray Otachi here today. Maybe he's ready to roll again with the Rangers, and M Looks is here. And let's go after it right now with the other big news that came out of last night. If you went uh, to bed with some of those games and didn't know or didn't see this morning, the Raiders did decide, uh, to make a change at head coach. Josh McDaniels is out here in Las Vegas, as is the general manager, and they'll make changes. Antonio Pierce, who you might remember, the former a New York Giants linebacker. He doesn't necessarily have a resume of an NFL head coach at this time, but uh, Pierce has been working his way up. And what's happened here is he'll get the chance to be the interim head coach. Mark Davis goes ahead and makes a move here with the Raiders just 5 days out from a game. On the road at the New York Giants, or at home here in Las Vegas, but against the New York Giants, interestingly enough, for Pierce, who takes over as head coach of the club. Pierce's trajectory went through mostly at Arizona State, working in both the athletic and football department and also as a linebackers coach, and then gets a job here with the Raiders. He started out at Poly, at Long Beach Poly, a great traditional powerhouse in Southern California as a head coach when he started his coaching career. Did lead Poly to a successful season. When he first joined, Poly had a long, successive line of uh, winning coaches and a great tradition. And then in his second, then they had their worst season in 38 years at Long Beach Poly. And even there, he got run out of town a bit, ended up picking a job at Arizona State as a linebackers coach, worked his way up a little bit there. Uh, they had guys like Lewis in there, and also Edwards, I believe. By that time, he was ready to move on here with the Raiders of late. But as it turns out now, he is the head coach of the Raiders, interim head coach right now. And we'll see how it goes. But hello to Julio Cesar Calle here today. Hope I got that right. JC, nice to have you. Solo is here today. Needs to get these wins. And Blake, you saw Adams is. I don't know. I mean, those were poignant comments. Certainly, maybe he just saw the writing on the wall. But man, what a story! Maybe Devontae did, maybe Devontae didn't. But I think the main thing here, if you read into I don't know. The Athletic, hey, is it really news if it's behind a paywall? The Athletic doesn't go on hanging their reputation like they're the National Enquirer of sports, if anybody even knows what I'm talking about anymore. But uh, so McDaniels, he likes to have a little bit of fun. He's known as, a fun loving guy. And takes his Halloween pretty seriously. So he showed up at the Raiders facility, dressed like Mark Davis, and Davis has a certainly a distinctive style, a unique look that not many people have. So whether or not he was having some fun, maybe he thought he was a buddy with Mark Davis and tight with him, that he could dress up like the Raiders owner here. Davis certainly is. You see him in his box. You see him with some guests in his box. You see his certain sense of style. Right. I'm not here to be. I'm just saying that he has a unique look that he certainly has embraced, or whatever, whatever the case may be. So McDaniels comes in dressed like Mark Davis. I would imagine a lot of people dressed as Mark Davis here in Las Vegas over the weekend. Seems like a popular or fun costume, right? And Davis maybe laughed it off at first, even said, hey, that's pretty good. Uh, uh, that's pretty good, Mr. McDaniels. Why don't you join me for some lunch? I'll order PF Chang's. That's my favorite. So why don't you also enjoy some with me? And when he told him, this is from the Athletic. This isn't making some story. I wouldn't waste your time here in the morning. We got to get to the show. The Athletic reports that maybe Davis suggested to McDaniels that he open his fortune cookie, and when he did, the fortune cookie said something to the effect of "You're fired." Uh, wise guy or something, like that, come in here like that. So Davis kind of broke the news to him in comical fashion, insulting fashion. Get out of my face! Don't come in here with a 3-5 record a day after losing a game and be impersonating me when we're trying to run a professional franchise here, desperate to get turned around and start winning football games. So, good morning to Luis. Solo looks to love the story. Funny here. And uh, Ferner also, no, yeah, but you know what? Werner, you're right. He dropped that ball certainly, but you got to want right. The targets were an issue. You see the production way down. Yeah, we've had a quarterback injury and whatnot, and all of a sudden, the Raiders say, "Hey, you know what? Pierce may be ready to go to." All of a sudden, Aiden O'Connell, just like that, this week at home, bench Jimmy G and put the rookie back in, who, um, even when they were saying if Jimmy G was going to be out, they were going to pivot from O'Connell. And maybe these guys saw something in O'Connell. Who knows? But I don't know. I thought yesterday, I had said, I mean, I'm always critical of the Raiders organization. Like I said, I'm starting to embrace these guys a little bit being here in Las Vegas, but they're pretty much messed up. They don't know what they're doing, I don't think. Long term, even Davis. So I like Mark. Hey, Mark, I'm ready. I'm hanging out with you. I'll come to the box. I think you'd be a great guy. I just don't know if the situation with the Raiders and the way they run their football team is great right now, and that's for years. But like I said, it's got a beautiful stadium. You can cover a lot of that up. Let's go over to Tony'sPicks.com. I don't know what else we can talk about, but I got other stories here. But we're here to talk about uh, picks and sports picks. So let's go over to this website and see how we did yesterday as we get ready for today's edition of the Morning's Team. And who did well? It was Collins Brown on Tuesday night with a 4-0 record. Perfect for Collins yesterday. Platinum Bella won her only play. Daniel Walasachuk won his only play. Nick Vartini 2-1. Nick Lagarettos 2-1. Tiffany Mance showing profit with the dogs. And for the last 7 days, Chauncey Giles, he's up over 12 units here on the network. Nick Vartini, he's the face of Platinum Cappers. He's up nearly 8 3/4 units. Hollywood Sam is up nearly 8 units. Ben Ruhala, 7.5 units of profit over the last 7 days, as is Eli Richards. For the last 30 days, it's Hollywood Sam. He's up 36 2/3 units. Absolutely having a great run. Here is Hollywood Sam. Check him out at Tony'sPicks.com. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 20% off all premium pick packages. Chauncey Giles up 16.5 units. Joseph Schultz up over 12.5 units. Ben Ruhala up over 10 units as well over the last 30 days. Click on the premium picks tab. There you'll find picks from our team of handicappers. 3 packs, 5 packs, 7 packs from the team today include those from Ben Ruhala. He's got a 3 pack up there. I'm up there with a pack early today. What do we got here? A 4 pack, a 5 pack with 4 basketball games and a hockey game for Wednesday night's action. It's a huge NBA card, 13 games. We're going to preview it here in just a moment. I'm going to give you free winners up and down the network today with the handicappers at Tony's Picks. We'll have, of course, picks from me. Then we'll have midday plays, 1 Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. Mindy Hahn, Tiffany Mance, and Tony T comes through with his show this afternoon, the drive through, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. And don't forget predictive modeling plays with Tony also this afternoon with his new show, sponsored by Rhythm, the Rhythm app for your modeling. So get ready for a great day, and we'll preview the games. Let's talk about the rest of the crew real quick and what we have today on the website with those multi-game packs. Just want to make sure I highlight everybody here. And best bets from the crew include those from Tony T, Ben Ruhala, Nick Lagaretto's $15 introductory plays, as well from Daniel Walasachuk. All right. Thanks for listening to that. Uh, Again, pick up our plays over at tonyspicks.com. Our best plays. I don't give you my best. I'm going to give you some good picks here, hopefully, but my best plays, the one I feel the most confident about, are posted up on the website and available for sale. Subscribe to my premium pick packages for short term, 3 days, 7 days, 30 days, or pick up the 1 day passes as well. All profit guaranteed. You'll always have a winning experience at tonyspicks.com. Okay. Yeah. Doesn't I would think this could be a temporary situation with the Raiders. With Pierce, we'll see. All right, let's maybe get on with the show right now because there are a lot of games to preview today. And we'll start with the World Series game number 5 off of yesterday's uh, game 4. Texas, big victory over Arizona. Yeah, Arizona got some runs there late. For a game that resembled a defensive football tilt more so than a baseball game. Corey Seager, 2-run home run. Jankowski, 2-run double, 5 runs in the second, and they buried that bullpen early. So we're back here in Chase Field tonight in Phoenix for Zach Gallen and Nathan Eovaldi, and we'll see. Look, it doesn't help. Uh, Baseball too much. I mean, this is the night, right? Tuesday night. You got the world to yourself. Yeah, there's a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but um, all of a sudden you've got a 10-0 game on your hands. You've already had the ratings go down for games 2 and 3, dropping to about 8 million viewers. And so far, 3 games so far, this is the least viewed World Series of all time. So going to have to pull this one out somehow and, make it more exciting, try to extend this series. I don't know what baseball can do. Um, they're already having their own issue. They announced yesterday, part of the commissioner, I think he made one of his press conferences for the World Series, but they'll be taking over. I already talked about this season. The Padres, had their TV contract blow up in their face, and now Major League Baseball is going to have to take over the TV and streaming rights for half the clubs this next season, maybe even more, as many as 16 clubs. Uh, maybe and maybe that's the way they want to go. Maybe that is the way they want to go. Those little apps, that may be the way to distribute here, at least for the next foreseeable future. Why run it through distribution when distribution seems to be going down and you can try to charge for get the advertising revenue yourself. Anyway, let's get to the World Series with Nathan Eovaldi, 4-0 with a 3.52 ERA in his last 5 starts. Texas, a 9-1 record when they have Nathan Eovaldi on the mound over the last 10 games for the Rangers. What a run of these road games. They feel totally comfortable here today. Um, I would think on the road, right? When you're playing with that much confidence, you're not worried about getting back home. And look, the one popular people will always say, "Oh, you just want to win it at home. You don't need to win the." Well, why would you do that? Just win the World Series, win it when you can, and take care of business. If you're the Texas Rangers, don't mess with it. Uh, Win the World Series, man. Don't worry about winning it at home and whatnot. So Texas, it just feels like such great momentum right now. I've been trying to get there with Arizona, and I don't want to say maybe I've given up. Let's see what you guys have to say in this one. All right, Thomas says there's going to be some more runs tonight with these two. You got Zach Gallen's got a 5.27 ERA in his last five starts. Arizona just 5-7 with Gallen starting compared to that 9-1 record for Texas. Matt D's ready to cut the season down to about 132 games, maybe, or 125. Maybe we could at least keep it in October, right here. Who is Mr. November? And I think one of the other, we talked about, Max and his injury, and Adolis Garcia looks like he's done for the series. He's been placed on a, a injured list here, so uh, the star of the Rangers not there, but it didn't matter yesterday. And Ray says maybe a Yurfie today. Maybe they get off to a quick start. Maybe the Rangers can take it back home here. Here's the thing, they are 12-4 in the playoffs so far, so I can figure that out. 10-0 on the road, 2-4 at home. And the Diamondbacks have been good on the road as well. So like I said, don't want to uh, take it too far. But and a lot talked about with Bruce Bochy as well. Probably set to win his fourth World Series title and second with another team with Texas, and it'll give Bochy a big boot for Texas, a team that, while certainly considered among the best teams heading into the season, and a team that had a chance to compete for a playoff berth, playoff wins, playoff series wins, and maybe even a world title with a few breaks or personnel and whatever. Credit to their front office as well with their acquisitions. But Bochy will come out, already likely headed to the Hall of Fame. I've always been fond of Bochy because he led the Padre teams to some reasonable success. A team that's never won a World Series, but had some of their best seasons with Bochy when they were doing it like the Padres would do it with not a lot of not a lot of big money talent. So Rangers for Perky. Looks is on Texas here as well. So for Gallon, he's got a five playoff starts. Let's see. Oh, he's got those are all his playoff starts. Those starts that I mentioned for those numbers. So not too worried there about that. Uh, Bullpen last night for Arizona in full effect. They needed to go there 9 innings last night. So Rangers in six. So you guys might be having them, win the game here a little bit. It feels like so. All right. Well, for me, I'm gonna be on the Texas Rangers here to wrap it up. I'm ready to give in and side with Texas. Maybe I've been uh, trying too hard to get these Diamondbacks to compete in the series. Seager here. Look at this. And you are the soccer guy, Gerardo, in the Discord. Let's get those soccer plays going here. Solo wants the Rangers as well. I'm going to take the Rangers tonight to win, wrap it up. You're right. Let's get it over with. We don't need to come back on Friday night and Saturday night. uh, I guess I kind of want to, always more sports the better. Game sevens are exciting. Game sixes are exciting. Just doesn't uh, feels pretty good for Texas when you get to this point, and that's the momentum factor. Yeah, you're up, you're one game away, but the other team knows when the other team has those three magical wins. You're not feeling like you're going to get there. So I'll take the Rangers tonight as my pick. Enjoy the game. All right, let's get ready to cover NBA action tonight. Big, it's a big card. How many games can we get through enough games to get to some college football here for Saturday as well? We saw the college football playoff, so we'll talk about it. We've got a couple of games, so we'll talk about what the announcement was in the playoff and give you a little bit of rundown here. JPZ's ready to go with he wants Euro baskets right now. My gosh. Uh Peasy. Uh wow. Let me see if I can at least get you some Steam if you're in. I don't even know if I've seen any Euro Steam today, but let me see here. Let me see if I can bring you something here on some of. I want to help you out, and on the show we are full service, so can't say I can give you a handicap, but I can give you some widely reported Steam moves here, maybe if you're interested. And just trying to take a look at some of these matchups that you're giving me here on the fly. Oh my gosh, we should probably cover this in the Discord. Oh boy, but appreciate it. And man, let me see here. I'm just gonna look down the schedule here at some of this and see if I can get you the right plays here. I do see a ton of action. Here on some of these games, you got me moving papers around on the fly. Nobody cares about these games, and you and me. But um, all right, we maybe we can cover them a little. I mean, that is a all right, you guys. Uh, hey, see, Cindy. Oh man, awesome! Great to have you. Look at Peasy with his plays. Ray's coming in with soccer. Oh man, you guys, we need a whole different show for international sports, and I'd love to talk about them here. Oh man, you guys, that is exciting that you guys would come in with a request like that, and I'm kind of looking at some of these here. Let's try to get these reported in the Discord if we can. I mean, we do have a few hours before many of these games start, but I do see plenty of moves here. I just want to kind of straighten them out. Um, you guys, okay? Sorry about that. That just caught me by surprise, and like I said, I mean, it feels like there is something we can do for you guys on the card today. Oh gosh. Um, thank you for that. Let me see here. I really want to get rolling, but it's such a great request, and I at least can get some information on some of these Champions League games. Okay, here we go. Some steam came in, so I don't even know what the lines are right now. But this is widely reported steam by the line services. Benfica over 155 and a half. They also laid Benfica minus 3.5. They laid Pinar Karisaka minus 4.5, minus 125. Murcia under 162.5. They also laid Murcia minus 8.5. So there's a few here. There are also some Euro Cup. I see they went with Gran Canaria over 162.5. They also laid Gran Canaria minus 12.5. They have ULM over 166.5. They have uh, uh, Budiknost plus 4.5. Also, Budiknost under 161.5. Paris over 172.5. And uh, Besiktas under 155.5. So if you have to rewind those, thanks, you guys. Wow, I love it. Oh man, you guys, this is hardcore chat. So not plays for me, just trying to keep you updated there on some widely. Those are the ones that took the biggest action, the biggest moves compared to those moves, maybe to where they are now. But those were the direction the games were headed. Hopefully, I can give you a little bit of information. Let's go. I need to get to the NBA, you guys. That's what most people want. But just want to make you guys happy. Trailblazers and Pistons NBA action here for Wednesdays. We get rolling with the card for 13, I believe. 13 games could it be here? So we'll get into it right away with this matchup. The Trailblazers on the road here against the Pistons. Pistons laying some points here, minus 3.5. Let's see if you see some moves here. These will be a few hours old as I got up to prepare the show and enter in the lines. So right now I'm showing the Pistons currently at 4.5 and 216.5. Let's update you. So the move definitely here on the Pistons and the over today. You guys already coming in maybe with some plays. It looks no. Josh, hello, Jose. Thank you guys for all that. Let's do it. If that's what my fans, whatever. If that's what you guys, we'll try to generate something. Try to get some of this information. I'm getting it. I'm not doing that much with it. I can't put any plays into our system on those games or anything. But if you guys want them, I have the information. So let's get together on that. I want to help. All right, Thomas is going to be on Detroit here today in this one. Detroit, of course, coming in with a 2-2 record so far this season. Darren says Detroit will get this money. They're favored here by 4.5. They've done a nice job so far, obviously, with a 3-1 spread. 3-1 spread record so far for the Pistons. Meanwhile, Portland with their 1-3 spread record, also just 1-3 overall thus far. Joey says the Pistons got this one. And Perky, thank you for your Euro plays. Man, you guys are getting me kind of excited in the chat here. All right, and well, we could talk a little bit more. Maybe maybe preview this game a little bit, but like I said, you see the spread records coming in, and you got Detroit coming in here. And Looks wants to lay it with Detroit. Jose lay it in the first half. Detroit coming off a loss at Oklahoma City. They had won their previous two games before that in pretty impressive fashion, quite frankly. And Ferner needs an injury checkup here, it looks like, or sounds like. Here, Jalen Duran, what's his status? I don't see any major significant injury situation necessarily here with this game that would have anybody, thinking twice about what to do here. But Duran is questionable. I certainly would put him in category where you want to keep abreast of his status, but he is listed as questionable with that ankle injury. So, all right, you guys are pretty hot on the Pistons today. The move appears to be on the Pistons. I was liking the Pistons here. I will say this. I mean, this total on the move higher here as well at 216.5 here. So you guys are really interested in that injury report on Jalen Duran. And China basketball scores are rolling in. Are you guys in that too? You crazies? All right. All right, let's get rolling here with it. Detroit. I was looking both ways. It looks like you guys are liking the Pistons, so I'll take them. I liked the Pistons. I'll lay them here minus 4.5, but I am interested in that move. I know it's going higher, and while that is of some concern, it looks like pretty good steam. Man, that thing opened as low as 212.5. and it's now 216.5. So, hey, that's why you guys are in here. We got nearly 4 dozen, and look at some of these chat comments on that on Eurobaskets today. I always felt, we have very sophisticated chat. And some of you guys are chat room legends talking about some of these games. I know we're in mainstream. I've got to keep it to the mainstream, but it's just very, very impressive. The Bucks are going to be at the Raptors here today. NBA action for Wednesday night. The Bucks on the road here in this one, laying points now. I think this one's probably gone up even a little higher. 5.5, 223.5. Could it get to 6? I've already seen a little bit of 6, and maybe there was buyback, but the Bucks appear to be kind of taking the move right now for the most part. Do want to check here and see because I thought I saw a 6, and now we've got down to 5.5 a little bit here. Oh man, that to me is worth investigating. Just taking a little peek at least here at the line movement between the Bucks and Raptors. Okay. Yeah. Oh, so in this one, we're up to, like I said, 5.5 for the most part. Raptors come in with a 1-3 record and 1-2 at home. This is where the Raptors are supposed to have their advantage. It's always been kind of a tough series for Milwaukee. 2-7 against the spread for Milwaukee against the Raptors in the last 9 meetings. It's been kind of good actually for the Raptors in this matchup. Thomas wants the Raptors here. You guys are on fire in the chat today. I want to go look at now. You got me looking at games from China on the fly here. Thank you. And Peasy says that the interesting take, especially after the explode. Everyone's going to talk about the big performance for Lillard, scoring wise, but what will they be missing without Drew? Darren says he'll probably be on the Bucks to cover here in this one. And I don't know. I might be on the. I'm Darren and I might be in a challenge here. Is what it feels like. If this one's going to keep going up, I guess I can only get 5.5. Sorry, Darren. You and me here. Um, well, maybe I don't want to go against Darren necessarily. Look, the widely reported steam came in on the under, but I'm not sure that I was totally interested in it. I was kind of more interested in the over actually, and maybe that's the direction I can go. Milwaukee says first road game for the Bucks. Toronto 10-3-1 against the spread their last 14 games at home, dating back to last season for Milwaukee. Of course, they started with those 3 home games. They got 2 wins, but just 1 cover out of those games. Here's Solo wants the Bucks. Ferner says Raptors are a no bet for me. So maybe if I'm a little torn, I don't want to go again. I'm gonna play the total since it looks like we're got a little bit of conflict, or I don't know. Maybe if anything, more Bucks action from you guys. You guys are all over the Bucks, and I was maybe leaning Toronto. So let me go with the total. I'm gonna go over because I'm not gonna disagree with my chat. I could play it privately. I could even make it a premium. But on the show here, trying to devise a way we can get to doing a consensus that we can make a product on Tony's picks. That's a consensus between you and I. And I've looked into maybe doing a poll on the show. It's just a lot of work because the YouTube poll doesn't work that smoothly. It takes a lot of data entry and behind the scenes work to bring it on the screen and everything. and we might not have enough action to do it anyways with our chat. With all due respect, with our we're get up to 4 or 5 dozen right now. And we're gonna get bigger. We're gonna regrow again because it's all about the winning. That's all kind of coming to the forefront, right? Sure, there's some great personalities. We want to follow all of our favorite YouTube, not just on the uh, here across the street on all the but all the YouTube, right? And where you go for your sports information, and that's why you're here with me right now. So that's what I want to focus in on, and we might be doing that type of direction later. Maybe we do a poll that's off camera, right? That we can have it on a site or something, and then we'll get it. And if I agree with the play that you guys pick, that'll be a consensus. So working on that. Anyways, I'll take the over. I'm going over here. Look, widely reported steam came on the under. You know me uh, not to buck the steam too often. Yeah, I'm a steam chaser. Not today. I'm gonna go with the over in this one. Ernest Jones, hello, great to have you here. And for me, man, the cameras. I'm gonna blow the picture up so I can see that. Oh, that's a great hat, Ernest. Great hat. Obviously, sports better here representing. Are you in Vegas with your STN? I know they're all over, but good to see you, Ernest, talking about if they don't have enough knives in a gunfight. He's got a big game Dame and the Bucks. It sounds like. Thank you, Ernest. I know we've talked a little bit before. I think you've stopped by, but I just noticed that STN hat. True Sports Better, obviously. Ernest knows how to work his apps. Oh, great to have you, Ernest. I'm over here just east of you there in the valley. All right, maybe you're hanging over there. The only places I'm going to, I'm staying south, so I've only been here for 10 months, and Green Valley for me, or the South Point when I want to watch a game or two. Just too much action on the strip. I'll just like to hang out. All right, Bucks and Raptors. I'll go over. Pelicans and Thunder NBA action here for Wednesday with New Orleans on the road. I'm showing OKC a 3.5 point favorite, and this totals up to 227.5. Definitely seen a move to the over here in this one this morning with the Pelicans and the Thunder. I show this one opening as low as 225.5. So already a 2 point move to the over this morning on this one. And I think I've solved my problem. I'm one more day of having to reach all the way over here where I'm struggling with this setup. The camera didn't work, but I bought a mouse, so I'm gonna be able to, I think, control things a little better. Hey, I got a pick here on this one that I feel like is kind of a freemium for me. Here's Jose over, over, over. Well, Jose, you and I, we're known to be two of a kind, one of mind, if you will, and we're going over for sure in this one tonight. Already stiff action to the over here from what I've seen. I don't know. Let me check if it's. I don't think it's been steamy in here necessarily. I don't know if the line services did definitely report some moves to the over, but I don't think it was necessarily a huge chunk of money that came down. Yeah, there was some subtle double move here. And I just want to take a look at Pelicans. Thank you for that, though. And Ernest says, "Jeff, do me a favor. I need to check on the status of uh, Brandon Ingram in this one, but questionable with that knee injury coming in. So you definitely want his 22.5 points per game in there at this juncture. And I am giving it out as a free play here. I am expecting him to participate in the game. I don't know what your speculation might be. Here's the Thunder for Ray. And I actually, I'm in a quandary on the side. I'm not sure even what I'm doing yet. Maybe keeping a little bit under wraps, but maybe leaning more towards just trying to find something that in pocket here. This one, I've got the over. I'm giving you my best play in this game right now. Maybe it would qualify. I feel like it would qualify for a premium, even with this move tonight with the Pelicans and the Thunder. And I'll just maybe I could just leave it at that. You guys had some nice looks in there as well. But I don't know, just the way I see it at this time. I mean, OKC, yeah, maybe I tried to get on them last time. Here's Darren says, "Give me the Thunder. They will cover." Ferner with a lean, and I respect you guys with your leans in a chat. I mean, I would just if I was in a chat though with you and I. Uh, hey, Kev, nice to see you. Saw you last night. Saw you in some chat room over there. Some live sweat room or something like that. Me and Kev, me and Kev hanging out in live sweat rooms. Hey, we're men, so we're beyond that. We can handle it in the live sweat room together. Nice to see you, brother. And here we have Oklahoma City 3-1 with a 3-1 spread record so far. New Orleans 2-1, 2-1 spread record. Both these teams, not bad start certainly here to get going, and I'm gonna end up in this one on the under, on the over. Over. Let's make it clear, I'm on the over in this game. Like I said, a strong play for me here. No distinctive moves here, or no distinctive patterns yet with these two teams that would indicate. You got New Orleans actually 1-2 to the under so far. Kev will go over with me. Okay, that's good enough. Final. And here comes some of that Chinese basketball coming in here. Guangdong loses to Tianjin. Do I need to give out the scores to you guys? Are you guys waiting on results and sweating games or something? Welcome to those of you who just watched Guangdong over Tianjin. And the thing about I will say about Chinese the and oh, here it is. Okay, Beijing did beat Guangzhou. Okay, Beijing wins 117 to 104. And but the thing about the CBA is it's on that FanDuel TV, right? So it actually gets pretty good coverage. Pretty good coverage, I'd say. You can get all those games pretty much if you're up in the middle of the morning and you want to early in the morning. The Washington Wizards at the Atlanta Hawks. NBA action for Wednesday. The Hawks on at home here, 7.5, and the total 238. Wow, look at that with the Wizards and the Hawks. Big number here. Widely reported steam, I thought came in on the under. Let's take a look at that with the Wizards and the no, not really something that was beat into the ground necessarily, but uh, high number here, no doubt, between these two teams. So far, it's been obviously for Washington 1-2 record, 0-1 on the road so far in this for Washington. They're coming in, of course, off of a loss to Boston, 126 to 107. They were getting 10.5 points in that one. They did not cover before that, though. They did have a win against Memphis at home for their victory, 113 to 106. So they're playing their second road game of the season. They did lose at Indiana 143 to 120 in the season opener for the uh, Hawks here, coming in with a two-game winning streak. They beat Minnesota 127-113. Of course, had the upset win of the Bucks. Looks like you guys have some plays here. And here's Cindy. I'm so happy to have you here today. and talking about the Hawks here. First half, minus 4.5. A strong play for Cindy. And Solo likes the over in this one. Here's a little Hawks action for Ray, and Thomas as well wants to take the Hawks. Darren comes in with a little bit of action here on the Wizards, however, and he wants to take the Wizards in the first quarter. All right, let me peek it a little. Just want to peek. It's gosh, you guys. What a struggle for me here, right? The second. Stay with me here, fam. All right, I'm just gonna have to keep on previewing here with you guys. Um, Having a little bit of technical issue here. All right. I'm ready to give up on it. I'm going with the Wizards. I had a little bit more information to add, but have to wait one more day, I guess. All right. Yeah, PZ, appreciate it. We already tried to see Korean ball and we couldn't get it together, but appreciate you. Oh man, Jose says Atlanta's up to 9.5 now. Let's take a look here before we get off this game. I think I'm ready to roll with my pick. I'm going. I'm taking the points, by the way. So if it is 9.5, great. And I'm not able to. I can get a 9 right now at Circa. That's what I can get. So I guess I can hang out and wait. Brent says Wizards traditionally cover. So and the game is too close, but that's a Hawks cover right there. And you look at the previous matchups between the Hawks. Do they? Who does get the money usually? Well, uh, Atlanta in the series. I mean, this is a frequent series certainly between these two teams. So uh, last season, Atlanta got the money in the last two meetings of the season. They won and covered, and the early two meetings of the season were won by Washington. All the meetings last year were after they were actually March, late February, March, and April. They did not meet before the new year last season. All the meetings were later in the season. All right. For me, yeah, in this one, I'm gonna be on Washington. Boy, this one is close for me, you guys. Uh, I'm just gonna grab these points. If it's going up, I'll take it. I'll just take it. I'll score it at 7.5. I see nines out there right now, so I guess if I had the lean to the Wizards here, then I would stay on it at this point. Let me get off this game. This has been not a great game for me. Maybe that's why it's on the list of free here. Thank you guys for your picks and comments. Josh says the Hawks. And hey, give them a chance. It's just been a few games. All right. Cavaliers at Knicks, NBA action for Wednesday night. The Knicks at home here against the Cavs are favored. And I thought these teams just met too, it felt like. Didn't they? Anyways, the Cavs come in here with a 1-3 record, 1-0 on the road, while the Knicks are 2-2 and they lost their only home game so far this season. Of course, yeah, these teams just met last night, and the final score was well. Remember, Um, One, it was only last night, 109 to 91 in that one. And we did have a premium pick winner on the under in that game. We took that as a premium. We did give out the Cavs on the show. What happened, you guys? Did you guys tell me it was Knicks and I didn't listen? What are you guys going with on tonight's game? Here's Josh wants the Knicks. And here's Jose, first quarter. Cavs, are those injuries a big? Are they a factor at this point? They allowed the Knicks to look pretty good last night, right? The injury woes, if you will. All right. I think I know where I'm headed in this one. Let's see. Thomas says, "Give me Knicks and the under." Jose says Knicks -7 here. And here's Ferner. He says he'll be back on the Knicks, switching sides. Is that what we did last night? Did we take the wrong one? Cleveland 9-2 to the under in their last 11 games, dating back to last season. But um, yesterday was a definite under. I think the side I'm going to be switching to is the over, actually. I'm going to come back on the over tonight. I was on the under last night. But I'm going to bounce back with and take this one over this number at 210.5. This series has been a dead solid under, and I don't think it's going to go. And here you go. Ferner says under. Kev Cook, they should play another under just like yesterday, just like the previous 6 games in this series have gone under, with the winning team, the losing team never scoring more than 100 points. But I do not have it that way tonight. I actually have this one going over. I'm not confident in the side, actually, at this point. And look, I'm kind of a trends guy to a certain extent, but I also kind of look at the market action here. And I don't want to say that my handicap is any worse than anybody else's, but this total hanging out. I mean, as high as 211 at some spots. So it's not moving. It's not moving anywhere. It did move last night, no doubt about it. And there you see, Ferner said he went under 214.5, but it went off at what, like 211 or something, didn't it? All right. I'm taking the over. I'm taking the over as a free play. Feels pretty contrarian, actually. I'm not sure I'll even get many. I'm not sure I'll even get much support here from you guys in this one. Look, we know the way the Cavs play. Maybe the Knicks are that way too. But for me, I'm on the over here. Kind of rolling with my computer printout here in this one. And the contrarian spot feels like it's in play here for me as far as that is concerned. I feel like the public is going to be uh, going that way, going under. So, no offense to you guys. Maybe you guys are hotter than I am at this right now. Indiana Pacers at Boston Celtics. Free NBA pick. This one here is for Wednesday night. You have the Pacers on the road here at Boston. I'm showing right now Boston still an 11.5 point favorite, pretty much market wide. I mean, it opened 11, I think. It felt like it opened 11 and a half. I don't think I've seen any other numbers other than 11 and a half. Now the total has had a little bit of movement. In fact, we're seeing it continue to go up. Oh, that Shenzhen game is over now in overtime. All right, we're not here to talk about China's league. We're here to talk about the Pacers and the Celtics. Oh, Ray says, give me a little look at the injury report, please. I don't know if there's a many significant injuries in this one, but if there was one, it might be Halliburton, and he's listed as questionable. So his 20 points per game here, definitely something to take note. And we were making fun of Tristan Thompson still in the league, but hey, you gotta, be able to. Celtics first half cover here, says Darren. All right. Well, why is that's why the spread is so big, says Tom. Because of the Halliburton injury, I take it is what you're saying. Is that what you're alluding to a certain extent? I think it's a lot of points no matter what. Here, I don't try. I mean, okay, I get it. Celtics. Okay, I get it, but I don't know. Too many points probably for me in a game that I figure the reported steam came in on the over, and I still see uh, kind of more action coming in on the over as this morning. If it's up to 233 and a half, I feel like I don't know. I kind of wanted to go under here in this one. I thought it would be something that would get beat down, but that's not the case. The line has definitely been going up, up, up with Indiana and Boston. So it looks like a poor read on my part. I'm going to take Indiana plus the points here, plus 11 and a half here. And okay, we got Brent coming in with his numbers here. He says it's a 7-point game. And Ferner says he'll probably wait till find Halliburton's status. Here's the key, though. And again, I mean, I guess you do have to wait for his status, but then all of a sudden you're going to have to lay more points once you find, unless we can find out, you know. All right, thanks for your picks and your comments. All right, I'm going to take the Pacers in this one. The Brooklyn Nets take on the Miami Heat on Wednesday. NBA action here for Wednesday night. Heat at home favored -6. I'm showing the total here. Probably 222, 222 and a half currently. That's a little bit of a drop from an opener of 224 and a half. In this one, system play. Take a look at here for you. Get your comments on this one as well. I was this is a game I didn't really have as much uh, depth on as far as where I wanted to go with it. I mean, Miami, for whatever reason, they're did not look good in those road games so far. They did win their only home game, but sitting there with a 1-3 record so far this season, they just went on the road and lost 3 straight at Boston, at Minnesota, at Milwaukee. They're 1-3 also against the spread thus far. And for Brooklyn, they did beat Charlotte 133-121 on the road in impressive fashion after losing games to Cleveland and Dallas to start the season. And already here's Ray wants to take the Nets plus the points. Here's Thomas with Miami. And Ferner says, I don't know if he says here that down, I mean, down in down personnel, down in the injury department, or do you have like the down arrow on their lineup? if anything, this game to me feels like, and maybe this is it, the most, that we have to worry about in the injury department. So maybe that's why I just wasn't ready to pull the trigger on much here tonight. Jimmy Butler, questionable with a knee injury. Bam Adebayo, he has been upgraded his status. Here comes Brent. He says he's got his pick here. So I think those are the most significant of the injuries here. Miami does have a pretty lengthy list. So you talk about the Nets and their lineup with Dennis Smith doubtful, Spencer Dinwiddie doubtful, Cam Johnson out, Claxton out for the Heat. Other injuries include Duncan Robinson, but he's probable. So those guys that were out or questionable last game seem to be on the improve a little bit here for Miami. All right. I guess I'm just going to have to make the call here on my pick. Anything else, you guys? Help me out here. My notes are a mess. Okay, no, I'm ready to go. I think with this one, go ahead if you guys. Werner says check the Nets injury report. I thought we just did that, but we can do it again. Maybe something's changed and it can buy me some more time here to fix my notes. But we'll bring it up again here and repeat it in case we missed it. Dennis Smith Jr., doubtful. Spencer Dinwiddie, doubtful. Cam Johnson, out. Nicholas Claxton, out. Rodney says here, covered the last 5 games of the series, have the Nets. And I did show one game. Let's see. Brooklyn 102, Miami 101 on January 8th. That Miami was a 2-point dog, but that one could have went either way. I mean, it landed right there nearly on the spread. All right. Interesting there. Okay. Okay. I'm going to take Miami. I'm going to take my. I see what you guys are saying. I'm going to lay these points right now. I look, I want to back Brooklyn, and maybe I could be wrong on them at this point, and I don't know. But Brooklyn, they have covered the money here when getting these. Let's see. Look at Ray says, look at that last Miami home game, Ramon. That's a key one. Okay, Miami here. They played Detroit. They won 103-102 as a 9-point favorite. And we know that, well, I don't know where you stand. Detroit, I do rank them a little bit better than Brooklyn at, I don't know if I do. I don't, I want to. They could be even though. I don't like Brooklyn necessarily. I mean, I like them as a team. I mean, as a rooting for them, but I think that I have big concerns about Brooklyn. Thanks, you guys. Okay, I'm on Miami. I'm taking Miami. It's a done deal. I'm on Miami here. Thank you, Perky. Appreciate that. Anybody, you can find me on Twitter and just retweet my tweet. I tweet out the show every day. Hopefully, you guys follow me. I have 2 accounts here that I feature on the show. So the Hornets are at the Rockets tonight. And this one, I'm showing the Rockets are favored at home against the. Whoa, the Rockets are favored at home. The Rockets by 2.5. And the total here is down to 221.5. I think we got to update that. That sounds like a pretty big move, actually. All right. Let's roll here in this one with the Hornets and the Rockets. All right. Rockets still looking for their first victory of the season right now. 0-3 record here with the Hornets coming in. For the Rockets, they've gone under in 7 of their last 9 games at home, dating back to last season. Charlotte's gone under in 7 of their last 8 games on the road, dating back to last season. Charlotte also has gone 8-20 to the under in their last 28 games as an underdog, which they are here, strangely enough, against the Rockets. Maybe this is the spot. I mean, the Rockets got to win sometime. They got to win their first game. Could it be this game? Do you have the Rockets ranked as the worst team at this point? You guys, I mean, especially after we saw, I guess this might be our moment to talk about the Spurs to a certain extent. Uh, just because, maybe you equate them there at the bottom with the Rockets, and they had that great win last night over Phoenix. Just a great job by the Rockets, by Wemby. So great, a great interview after the game. He didn't know what a churro was, but he was so honest. And I would think the Spurs look. I don't know. They look better than the Rockets right now, considering the way they played and made a great comeback against the Suns last night after getting absolutely blown out in the previous game, and to come back and get a win on the road against a Phoenix team that absolutely that is just bad. They have KD, but they have no chemistry. They look bad too. So, you know, immediate downgrade. It looks like on the Phoenix Suns, you guys, right? The way it looks like. Anyways, not talking about those teams, but just want to kind of promote the Spur. We're not going to talk about. We didn't talk about that game either last night, and maybe they are better than the Rockets. Here it sounds like the widely reported steam on this game came in on the under, and I've already updated it to be what 221 and a half there now. I'll go under. I don't know. It's probably going to go lower. I would think. There, take those are two social medias right there, but the um, bottom one there, you'll get some picks from me, and the top one there, that's where you can find that information that I was kind of talking about there on my personal Twitter feed. So. Uh, I do tweet out the show there. So if you wanted to get it on Twitter, you could subscribe to Ramon Scott Media there. Or Tony's Picks also. The Tony's Twitter. I tweeted out. He tweets it out. Whatever. It's automatic, but it goes out on the Tony's Picks YouTube as well. Okay, let's get these plays in on this game though from you guys. The Suns aren't winning anything, right, Kev? I mean, this is. Uh, you know, not good, not good right now, no doubt. Uh, Furnace says KD weak sauce, and no doubt, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. And again, we're not. I'm here to talk about obviously the Rockets here, but like I said, want to make a point of that. Brent's got his plays here on this one. And why are the Hornets a dog? Says Brent. So we right, and we don't even know what to call this thing anymore. Rays on the Rockets money line. Chad says, "Let's go Rockets." So no doubt, got to get those stars back. You saw Booker with the interview there, so I'll cut him that. I'll cut him that. But again, they were already kind of you know no chemistry kind of coming in, so we'll see. But yeah, let's wait for those guys. Don't let me get all bent out of shape on the Suns. All right, for me in this one, I've got to go under in the Charlotte game with the Rockets. Here, it's already starting to move under. I like the under. Um, Boy, is it even going lower than this right now? Yeah, it is. It is. This one's on the move. Is this steam? Is this getting steamed right now? Oh, it already. Okay, get on. If you like this, I'm going to update it right now to the lines that I'm seeing, to the worst line that I'm seeing, so that I can give you guys the best chance to get a good price. Maybe here, if you still like it, give it out as a free play on the show. Feels like it could be a premium the way I was touting it, but now it's down to 220. This one has been on the move lower. I'm still going under. It opened as high as 226 at one pretty sharp offshore book, but now it's 220. It's a lot of points to miss out on, but I'm going under. Hornets and Rockets. Thanks, Kev. And that's why um, to and that's why we are here, right? And hopefully you choose me as your show to start off the day here for this type of information, right? Whether I'm on the right side or the wrong side, I want to be right for you. Uh, right, we want to get all these games right, but I do want to try to bring you at least the best information out there, the most live information, uh, heading into the day. So that's what I'm trying to build here. Yes, do we all want to be right? Do we all want to be, oh, watch Ramon? He's never, he gets all the. Well, we just want to get you, live information, actionable betting information is kind of what I'm talking about. So, okay, keep it moving here, you guys. All right. Next up, Nuggets and T Wolves here. The Nuggets on the road. Yeah, they're going to be favored in this one against the Timberwolves. That was down to 2.5. Total 221 and a half or so. The widely reported steam did come in on the over in this game, but it looks like today, because that was a move that I think came in kind of either late last night or overnight, but today, this one could be actually on the move a little bit higher with the Nuggets and the Timberwolves. Denver comes in, of course, undefeated so far with a couple of wins on the road, and to be favored here against a Timberwolves team that's 1-2. They did win their only home game, though, so far this season. It was the Timberwolves defeating Miami 106-90 for their only home win. Now, last game was pretty brutal for the Timberwolves, one that makes you take a step back and maybe downgrade them a little bit. I mean, they were at Atlanta. They were 2.5 point favorite on the road, I think, in that one. Ended up losing 127-113 for a pretty massive spread loss in that one. And Darren says he's got oops, where's it at? Here it is. Darren says he's got the Nuggets to cover. Here's Brent coming in with his uh, Nuggets 115, T Wolves 104. That would be a lock almost in this one. So he says take the Nuggets. And the Nuggets talk about a poor performance, but Denver, they beat up 2 nights ago. They clobbered, or 2 games ago, like 3 nights ago, they clobbered Oklahoma City 128-95, covering on the road to 3.5 points, very similar to this spot. And then they went back home, beat Utah, turn around now, come back on the road. Nuggets are healthy. Mike's here today. Just throwing out numbers. I never know what Mike's up to, but I'll roll with it. Ferner says, lay the Nuggets here. Got Ray. He says, lean the Timberwolves. Can't trust them, though, after giving up a lead late in the game. Ray says, I'm going to take the under in this one. All right. I am going to take a little something here too. Let me get a few more comments from you guys. Mike's ready to go with the NBA on Christmas. Some people don't even start to bet the NBA until Christmas. Chad's got a big play here. It looks like he's got the Wolves in this one. All right. Here we go. I think I'm set to go now with my play. One more day of this. Oh, help me out, you guys. Werner says, "What was the opening total in this game here?" And I'm showing it was as high as 225 and a half was the highest that I saw in this one. Between Denver and Minnesota. All right. Okay, you guys. A little bit frustrated here. Let's see if I want to get you my play, and I have it on my recap on my notes here. All right, here we go. Thank you. Whew. Pressure's on. Pressure's on. Make the winning call, you guys. Look, if anything in this series so far, we've seen the most solid under teams of any team so far this season. I mean, Denver, they're 0-4. All four games have gone under thus far. Minnesota, they're 1-2. 1-2 to the under thus far this season, but I don't I don't feel like this one's going to be an under. I'm going to end up, I believe, here on the over in this game as my pick. That's what my computer printout is saying here. The numbers seem to add up to go over in this one. Now, um, look, Denver is a favorite, 27-1 to the under in their last 28 games as a favorite. But um, my numbers just say over in this one. The There was some steam that came over as well. I mean, if anything, it still looks like a decent price. If it opened 225 and a half, and now it's like I said, I'm listing it at 222 there, but um and I'll leave it at that. I'm going over and I'm going to leave it at 222, but I think it's 221 for the most part at most spots right now. So, okay, that was tough. That was tough for me. And it takes longer. We got a lot of games. Bulls and Mavericks. NBA action for Wednesday night. The Mavericks are favored here at home by 5 points, and the total's 224. That's down from an opener as high as 225 and a half. The reported steam did come in on the under in this one. So let's take a look at the matchup between the Bulls and the Nuggets. I think the Bulls are playing a little bit better, certainly right now, than the Mavericks. I'm sorry, I might have said Nuggets there, but um, I don't mean necessarily playing better than them. I just, Dallas is 3-0 after all. Pardon me. So far this season, all three games going over. But I just will mention that for Chicago here coming in, at least they are coming off of their best game so far. They kind of look pretty bad actually, but uh, they did beat Indiana 112-105 in their last game. So that's what I meant. The Bulls played their best game of the season after a really rugged start. Yeah, they did beat Toronto on the road. That was still a game where they were, I believe, uh, either favored in or a push. They lost at Detroit in embarrassing fashion, 118-102. They also lost that season opener at home So really, two of their four games have been very, very subpar so far this season. While Dallas are coming off a terrific win, 125-110 over Memphis in a convincing cover last time out. Let's get your comments. Here's a prop. Luca points over for Ray. And Brent says the Bulls usually cover the spread. In general or in this series? Because that's true. It's got to be the series, right? Because again, these two teams are only going to meet twice a year, so that does make it a little bit of a qualifier there for me. But Bulls covered both meetings last year, including a meeting similar to this. Uh, the meeting last year in December was at Dallas. It was in December. I say it's November 1st here, but just mean the first meeting of the season. Like I said, they've met twice. They meet twice a season. And Chicago won that one 144 to 115 at Dallas. In that one, Chicago has covered six of the last seven meetings between the two, including both meetings last season. All right. This one was pretty tough for me, actually. Let's see. I've got a few more here. Brent says he's got Kyrie questionable, so maybe that is going to affect his play here a little bit. Obviously, reflected in the line, but still, Dallas a 5-point favorite. Zach Levine is probable here for the Bulls. And Kyrie got that questionable tag on him there. But for me, man, if it's going to keep the steam came in on the under, and I'm not sure I buy it. And if it's going to go down to whatever it is now, 224, I'm just going to take it over. It's probably my least favorite game, it feels like right now on the board. And maybe just throwing a dart here, like to give out a play, but we have seen a couple of overs certainly from the teams so far this season. Nothing very trendy. Like I said, Dallas 3-0 to the over. Here's Mike money line and a parlay. Thomas Lewis says, "Give me the Luca prop points, rebounds, assists to go over in this one." Uh, Dallas so far. Over in the game against Memphis for 235 points, the game against Brooklyn 245 points, and the game against San Antonio also had 245 points. I'm taking the over. Grizzlies and Jazz NBA action here for Wednesday night with the Jazz favored at home in this one. Jazz are favored here at -2 currently, and the total is 224. Big move here to the under in this one. Wow. Reported steam came in on the under. This one's all the way down to 224 off an opener as high as 228 and a half. So this has been a massive move here today. And the Jazz, a little bit of move to the Grizzlies here, certainly down to -2. But certainly a significant move on the total here with Memphis coming in looking for answers. They can't get a win. Now, here's the thing, you want to make an argument that and I'm that guy, right? I don't want a guy like um John Morant, cancering up the team, whatever he's doing. Um, it always feels like an issue. Everything, with all the drama. Once we're out of the drama, then there's sideline drama with pops or something like that. So okay, without him right now, I get it. We're struggling, and here's the thing: um, when you are missing a player like Ja Morant, and I mean everyone agrees, right? You know what? You got a guy like this guy out of the lineup. it's going to affect your team. A guy who gets paid that much money is supposed to have that big of an impact on you. Now, it's all reflected in the line. That's not necessarily talking about, what's going on with, uh, uh, his absence and all that. But this is a player that you're expecting major, major contributions from with the team. So when he is missing, yeah, that it is a bigger factor. I want to say, Memphis will still be good. Oh, that it's in the line; they'll still cover. Well, right now they're not. They're not covering right now. Here, these numbers. So, Jazz favoring this one by two. This one's been a solid over series right now. 14 of the last 17 meetings between these two teams have gone over, and also 16 of the last 21 meetings in Utah have gone over. So, several years here, a couple years certainly, of games going over between these two teams, even though we've seen of late it used to be even more dramatic, but we had a couple of unders in the series last year. The reported steam came in this game on the under, like I said, with that significant, significant move here today. So for me, I was I don't know, I was leaning towards Memphis here in this one. What are you guys up to? Anything in the chat? The information from Brent. He says he's got the Grizzlies winning this one in and under. It looks like here, 111 to 105. That would be well under the total, and the Grizzlies with an outright win on the road. So that looks pretty solid from Brent. Nuggets and T Wolves. Ferner says, look, this total. Oh, he's talking about another game. Sorry about that. Maybe over here, Grizzlies, desperate for a win in this one. So I'm going to try the Grizzlies here. I'm gonna go with the Grizzlies plus the points on the road. They need a win. Obviously, here 0-4. Utah, no great shakes at this point, 1-3, but they are 2-2 against the number. They did get a cover against Denver last time out. They were lost 110-102 a couple of nights ago, getting 9 points. So Utah back home here after 2 games on the road. Give me Memphis. I'm only getting 2 points here, so never getting there with a premium. I'll take Memphis. Kings at Warriors NBA action here for Wednesday night. The Warriors at home are favored in this one by 7. And the total has gone way, way down in this one. A drastic, drastic move to the under here. This one opened as high as 234.5. And now it is down to 227.5. Wow, what a move. You had to see this one coming, didn't you? On the overnight line, there was no way they were going to sustain this type of pressure here. This one was going to be a rock solid under all the way. Felt like from the get go, and the bookmakers haven't been able to sustain the line at all at their original opener and have had to move here as many as 7 points today on what looks, on what appears to be a dead solid under. I would guess is the only way to categorize it. Let's see what you guys are maybe up to here, as I can't seem to get my notes here like I want to tell you. Might just have to give out the game without a bunch of stats and all that. Last day of this. I'm just working on everything here, trying to make a good show, trying to improve our, information every time. Kings here. And yeah, I'm still having trouble here. Okay, there we go. Kings and Warriors in this one. You got the Warriors featured matchup of the night, I guess, coming in with a 3-1 record. I want to write off the Warriors. I said, hey, maybe that, uh, you know, they are not one of the teams that compete in the West, but maybe they're still the Warriors. Maybe they still are all that. All right. In this series last year, man, they had some matchups, obviously, with that playoff series back there in April. What a series it was, going all 7 games with the Warriors finally winning that final game. Remember, 120 to 110. They got the win in game 7. Brent says the De'Aaron Fox, no doubt that is a major injury on this card at this point that everybody's talking about. But we know he's out. There's no doubt he will be out of this game. But man, that total, woo, what a dropper, huh? I don't know if we can do anything here on the show with that now. So Clay Thompson upgraded to probable in this one. And I don't know. For me, what do you guys? I want to get your guys' opinion here, maybe even on the side in this one, but don't want to see there uh, what we have. Nope, you guys aren't too interested in this one. It looks like I'm just going to have to make the call without you here necessarily on this game with the Kings and the Warriors. Help. Guess I would probably lean to the Kings here, getting the points in this, in this hotly contested series. I'm not. I certainly would like to have Fox in there, but I'm going to take the Kings to compete. Look, I think the Kings have proven right now that they are going to be um, decent this year. Let's just say. Remember, they were able to get to the postseason last year. They're off to a pretty good start here. No reason why this one wouldn't be competitive, it feels like. Sacramento is just terrific getting points. I mean, dating back to last season, they were an underdog in, plenty of games, despite being certainly an above average team. They've gone 37, 17, and 1 against the spread in their last 55 games on the road. Now, you look at the Warriors, they're terrific at home, too. They're covering big time to the tune of almost 70% at home over the last season and a half. 42 and 20 against the spread their last 62 home games. So there is a little bit of conflicting trends there in this one, but oops, Mike's talking hockey. And I'm talking basketball. Chad says, give me the Kings here. But it looks like Mike maybe want Golden State. Chad maybe says, they'll still get there without De'Aaron Fox. And, we're definitely getting probably 2 points. I would say 2 points. I would say 2 points. If that, or I don't know, Ferner, what I'm saying, if I'm answering your question right, feels like it would. I feels like the line would be 5, right? Right, Jerry? What do you have it at? Or you talk about the total? Okay, I've got the under big time. I think Ferner, but my play on the show here is going to be Sacramento. Okay, we've got one more here in this one, and it's the big news tonight with the Clippers and the Lakers. And we're just seeing not breaking news necessarily, but just a reiteration, I think, of what's going on tonight with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. They are questionable with possible rest here, and also Hachimura. He is doubtful for the Lakers. I thought we just had some breaking information come in on some personnel for tonight. Yeah, here it is. Okay. Um, Okay. No, maybe not. Maybe not. Just okay. Um, looks like the James Harden trade has been finalized, and you guys might have access to it. I'm not going to worry about it right now because I mean I think we all agree that the trade is a done deal. They just hadn't been able to do it, and we saw Harden in L.A. last night. Him and PJ having dinner there in the box. So it looks like the trade maybe has been finalized here, but still, Harden will not be playing in this game. He'll make his debut. Um, he's out. So I don't know how they'll. So what's going to happen though is, and that's why we see the line here, what it is today. Because look, I lost with the Clippers last. I thought they would be affected last night by the trade. In fact, they were shorthanded, but it just didn't work out. The Clippers did a great job. They got the money against Orlando. I had a premium pick on Orlando. Didn't work out, but I think tonight will be even worse here tonight for the Clippers. I mean, you see the line here already up to 5.5 at most places. And there's even a 6 out there right now. And I would think the Lakers are going to be the team kind of to look at here tonight, laying these points. It feels like. To me, we already see this total down to it's 226, and boy, I don't know. I mean, I can't see I can't see it. Did you see the score? Did you see what was going on with the Magic and the Clippers game? Last. And now, granted, the total it did. uh, It was a kind of a contrast of two halves to a certain extent with the total, so I can't really say it like that. But just feels like this is going to be a low scoring game to me. The Clippers, the way they're playing, the way they want to play, that was a painful first quarter to watch yesterday against Orlando for sure. And I don't think it's by mistake. I think this is the Clippers' total intentions, and I'm sure that's what we're going to see tonight is a knockdown, drag out, ugly affair. Um, I guess that Lakers will probably, it feels like, get the money, but I don't know. All right. Man, let me get some more comments from you guys and then we'll move on. We got to keep this show moving. Here's Brent says Clippers 119 to 111 and some other comments. Yeah, he was there. Yeah, Clippers +5 here for Ray. He says the Clippers will be able to suck it up without those players in the lineup. So, and again, I'm moving forward with no Kawhi, no Paul George. Feels like pretty official for me here. I feels like, but you guys still want the Clippers and the points, and I get it. Maybe this is a spot for the Lakers, kind of to maybe they'll be resting players by the time this one rolls around. Hint, hint, hint. Here, and maybe that's why I want to go under. But all right, I'm just going to take the Lakers because the Clippers are missing their players at this point. The Lakers are not. And I'll just stick with the Lakers. Thanks, you guys. That's NBA tonight. NHL action. On Wednesday, the Sabres are going to be on the road here taking on the Flyers in the NHL card here. Just a short card, 4 games, get you covered here. See some information here rolling in within the last couple of minutes regarding some of the personnel tonight. Connor Clifton, the defenseman for the Sabres, he's had his suspension. He's out. He's out of this game. He'll be able to return on Philadelphia for that hit that he made, that check, whatever it was. Clifton is out. I know they were talking about it, but he has been ruled out of this one. Zach Menson is out for Buffalo as well. Devin Levi, he also is out of this game, I do believe. So I think we've seen the goaltending here come in. I would guess with Levi's status that we will indeed get Luokanen here for the Sabres today going up against Connor Hart. Connor Hart is confirmed to be the goalie here today. I would have to think it's going to be Lukin, and I guess if Levi was could be healthy, he would look to play. So maybe that's why we haven't seen the official confirmation here just yet in this one. All right. Let's get your comments and maybe some statistics on this one tonight. Here's Ray. He wants to be on the Sabres in this one here. And look, the line right now currently at Philadelphia, oh, minus $1.10. If anything, maybe the Sabres are starting to move to a slight favorite. Could that be an indicator here? Um, I'm wondering if that could be an indicator that Luukkonen or that Levi could actually end up being the starter in this one. Because one line service is showing that could indeed be the case today. But he was listed as questionable. So let's see here. Flyers need to bounce back. Brent just rates it at 4-4. We know it won't end 4-4, but what he probably is saying here, he does not have a pick on the side, but certainly he does like the total here to go over, is what that looks like to me. All right. Let's see here. I do have my current notes ready finally here. All right. Mike says Flyers will need to bounce back in this one. Look, if anything, for the Flyers to be 4-4 at this point, I'd say that's pretty positive here coming in. I mean, I probably would trust them in this spot, especially at this price. At $1.15. Look, like I said, what is it right now? It looks like it's even closer to a pickup here. I call up the latest prices offshore and look at a live book instead of the odd screen just to make sure. But showing the Flyers just maybe the slightest favorite still. Total 6.5 over 30. Maybe it's come down just a little bit. You know, usually when I see 6.5 over 40, I'm already thinking it's ready to go to 7 under 25. So I'm not sure on the total actually. I could see this one maybe being too high. If it got to 7 under 20, I'd probably be willing to come in on the under. Here's Ferner. He wants to go a lean on the Sabres here. I don't. I'll just take Philadelphia. Yeah, all right. Let me take Philadelphia here in this one as my play against Buffalo, not to go against Ferner here necessarily. But Brent says Sabres and over here in this one. But I want to take Philly at home right now. Philly actually 7-2 on the puck line so far for Philly, but Buffalo 6-3 on the puck line. So these guys have been doing pretty well, overachieving pretty well. I think Philadelphia maybe a little bit more profitable than Buffalo so far. But here's Kev on the Sabres. All right. That'll do it in that one. Let's continue to move on here with the Stars and the Flames. And this one tonight, you got red hot Dallas and ice cold Calgary. I'm sorry, Calgary, that this is what's happening at this point. This hasn't been a real comfortable start here. They were just, in that outdoor game, kind of didn't look that great. As Edmonton got the job done, you're taking on your rivals in the big outdoor game. You got humiliated pretty good here. And take a look at the line now. here. Dallas on the road, $1.35 maybe, 6.5. Uh, 6 under 20. I'm even seeing a 5.5 right now, and sharps are all over the under, I would think, in this one. Like I said, I'm already seeing one book currently at 5.5. So I don't know where you guys might be headed here with the Stars and the Flames. Looks like Ottinger. Let's take a look at the goalies and make sure, but would feel like we're going to have Ottinger in there and Markstrom. Neither goalie is confirmed at this point. So I can't necessarily sell you on that, but Dallas, I mean, they're just hot right now. If anything, they're maybe a little bit overinflated on some of their tickets with a 5-1 record. They're just 3-4, however, on the puck line. Ray says he'll sprinkle it though, and here comes Ray on the Stars. And Mike says they'll probably be $1.40 by game time here. So maybe we are getting a little bit of a discount here with Dallas at $1. Let's see. Let's look market wide and see what the prices are. But recent change here: $1.30 offshore, $1.30 at the biggest U.S. online book. Mostly $1.35 across the board here right now. So I don't know if there's actually too much value to it, but I'll probably take the Stars. Here's Ferner on the Stars. I'm just trying to get Calgary back to life. That's all, you guys. They'll find spots. I mean, I guess this isn't it. The St. Louis Blues will take on the Colorado Avalanche. NHL action for Wednesday night with Colorado at home, a $2.30 favorite. The total 6.5 under at -115. Big favorite here for Colorado. Even if they do end up with their backup goaltender in here tonight, he is likely to go. I'm talking about Prosvetov here in this one. Bennington not confirmed just yet, but for Prosvetov, this will be his first start with the Avalanche. And he did make one appearance in a game last week as he came in for Gurdjieff in a game. Prosvetov is 4-6-1 in his career. Of course, he was with the Coyotes last season. He averaged 4 goals against, pretty much right on 87% save percentage. And they've been tough right now for the Avalanche. A little bit of a surprise of late. They have not looked good in their last couple of games. Here as they've fallen to 6-2 after that red hot start. Nobody's going to complain too much, but a little bit of a surprise the fact that they've been outscored in the 2 games, 4-0 at Pittsburgh, 4-0 at Buffalo, when they were scoring all those goals previously: 7 against the Islanders, 6 against the Canes, 4 against the Blackhawks, and it had been a real hot start, let's just say, for Colorado to start the season. So, but get the backup in there this time, just to maybe give Gurdjieff some well-deserved rest. Little college football steam coming in. All right, is this one with the Blues and the Avalanche? I'm seeing kind of two-way action pretty much from the Sharps here, but I'll probably lay Colorado minus a goal and a half here in this one back home off of being outscored 8-0 in the last 2 games. Mike said it right there. Look, 4-0 and 4-0. So stuck on 4. And that might be just enough for me. Ferner's looking at the Blues on the puck line. I can't do. I'm going to lay it. I'm going to lay it. Brent says kind of the same thing here. Avs in regulation. I'll take Colorado minus a goal and a half. I haven't done that too many times this season, but I'm going to do it here. And we scored all the other night, taking all those puck line dogs, kind of like Ray may be doing here. But I'm going to lay it with Colorado. I'm going to lay the puck line with Colorado. And finally, in the NHL tonight, it's the Arizona Coyotes on the road against the, well, I want to say surprising Ducks, but also I want to say surprising Coyotes. This is a nice game to a certain extent, considering where these franchises have been mired over the last couple for a long time, forever. But right now, Arizona, they're 4-4 at this point. Anaheim, they're 5-4. So we got a matchup of teams that are not below 500. That's one way to put it. Now, it does look like most of the money line action here coming in on Arizona. They might be pretty publicy here today. Maybe we can get your comments on this one while I fiddle around here. All right. Let's just start previewing it a little bit with the Coyotes here, a favorite on the road at $1.30, and the total 6.5. Has there been any movement on that? No, maybe just a tick to the under here with that total, and maybe the move is on the Coyotes just slightly. All right, and I'm probably going to back that as well. I don't know. Arizona is a team that definitely has caught my attention here early in this season. They beat Chicago. Remember, I want to say, oh, this is a big matchup of two teams to see which team is more improved. Chicago with their young superstar or the Coyotes. But no, it's been the Coyotes so far with a great. They beat them 8-1 in that game. Here's Ray on the Coyotes, but Mike's on the Ducks. Brent just sees this one as a high scoring game, and I do too, Brent. Quite honestly, I think that's what we will see in this one. There's a lot of goals. So, um, Kev Cook is leaning the Ducks, and Ferner worried about this 4-game card. So, I don't know if I need to go much further as far as a breakdown for with or for you guys is concerned. These teams are playing pretty good, and yeah, let's see. Mike says, "How do the Arizona Coyotes favor? As a favorite on the road? Well, the sample size is pretty small. Let's just say. Let's just say, Mike. System play. I'm gonna end up just taking the Coyote. Look, they are favored, I think, for a reason. Maybe this is a little higher than I want to pay, so I don't think I can do a premium here. And it may be some volatility. Like I said, I've got this one probably as a high scoring game. So if we get into the 7 goal range, it's not going to be like it was the other night, 8-1 or something. It's going to be because the score is very much what, like Brent was saying right there, 3-3, 4-4 type of game. It feels like to me in this one. I'll take the Coyotes. I think they are the team to win the game. And, if anything, just maybe a little bit high of a price here. I like the Ducks. And look, this is the goalie situation. I think, no, both are not confirmed just yet. So, all right, I guess we can't go too much into it with the goalies if we don't know. But like I said, Luke Dostal might definitely be in there here for the Ducks, and maybe that could be the difference in this one if they don't have Gibson in there. But Dostal's played quite a bit so far. Here, Kev says it's going to take a couple of years to get those Blackhawks going. I I guess that is right. I am one to believe that sometimes with these young stars, they turn around franchises quickly. Look at what you know when we talk about the can't miss prospects that have come along and how they've turned, these guys not only turn franchises around, but they go on to win. They go on to win everything, it seems like. So, all right, that's a look at the NHL today. Let's get on with a little bit of college football if we can. Last night the Maction got started, and kind of funny, right? Because we've already had some weekday football this season. We've had Tuesday games, we've had Wednesday games, and the Maction said, you know what? Let's take it up a notch. Let's put some snow on the field. And the Maction had the snow games last night, but it didn't matter. We recommended the over in both games, and well, both games went over. So whether or not that happens tonight remains to be seen. We'll preview the couple of games right now. Take a look at them between in the MAC tonight. Ball State at Bowling Green, college football action. This one's for Wednesday. In this one, it's Bowling Green, a 5.5 point favorite. The total 40. This one opened as low as 39.5. I also show a low opener in this game, or a line that was as low as -4 in this one. And I've also seen it reach as high as -7 here for Bowling Green. So, action tonight. Whether or not, let's see. We might have to check that weather report, it feels like, after what happened last night. Bowling Green comes in with a 4-4 record. They look decent on offense. They've had some interesting games. They've won 3 of their last 4, and they've scored in those 3 wins. They scored 38 points, 24 points, and 41 points. And they've been getting turnovers. They're +9 in the turnover department over their last 4 games. But in their losses, their offense is non-existent. But you have to look at it here realistically. They are favored in this game. So, when you see that, you kind of would say, well, probably more likely they would win the game, which would equal, that they would be able to produce offensively the numbers that we've seen them produce already. Winning. Pretty easy in a game like this with 40 points and whatever, a 6-point spread. So 23-17 would be the projected outcome. Ray Ochachi says, "Give me Bowling Green." Early on, I was thinking ball, and late, I've been thinking ball. But I've come around a little bit on the Bowling Green side. I'm not sure I can get anything going unless you guys convince me here. Here's Brent says Bowling Green 21, Ball State 13. That puts him on Bowling Green, and that puts him also more significantly, I would think, just as significantly, probably on the under there. I wasn't necessarily sure about that. The way I see this number right now, 39 ish or so. Boy, this one's going to be a tough one for me. But I don't know. I was thinking Ball could get this money. I was just hoping to maybe get back to getting a touchdown here. Ball State, though, they've been just so bad. I mean, they're 1-6 overall. They beat, they're 2-6. I guess they did have a win over an FCS team. They beat Central Michigan last week 24-17 for their first MAC victory of the season. Their other games they've lost in the MAC by 18, 14, and 7 points, and they've scored 14 points or less in 5 of their 6 losses this season. So that's not too promising, but I still lean towards Ball. Are there any 6s out there at all? I mean, I'd probably have to buy it up. No, in fact, I'm showing it going down to 5. At least the one thing we could say is it does look like the move here. The reported steam came in on ball. The move has been on ball here a little bit. Just feels pretty uncomfortable. That's all. So, all right, I'll just take the over in this one. Both games in the MAC went over last night. I do want to try to get to ball. I'm probably going to have to buy some points. I'm not going to go in there with just getting 5 points. And it does feel like ball. When I say it like that, I mean, it just feels I don't want to lay the points. And I'm willing to just add a little bit to the handicap here just to, maybe get on the game. I don't know if I can get to a premium here with this ugly Mac, even in the Maction, we love the Maction, but I'm leaning toward the points here. But let me give the over. I'm taking the over in this one. Not feeling great about this game tonight. I could only get one premium um, out of last night's Maction, and we failed on that one with Buffalo. So even though Buffalo had a million chances in that game, they continued to turn it back over. They got 4 or 5 turnovers out of Toledo and still couldn't get it done. It wasn't a terribly, it wasn't a bad game. So just want to mention last night, Central Michigan getting that money at home against Northern Illinois. Tony had Central Michigan as a premium last night. So good job, Tone. All right, I'll take the over in this one. Looks like you guys don't have too much on it. I'll just move on. With Kent State and Akron college football action. This one's for Wednesday. Akron favorite at home here in this one, -4 or so. And the total 38 and a half. That's down from a high opener of well, we did see when we did the opening line report show on Sunday, we reported that we saw as high as 43 and a half. Also, I've seen as high as 44 and a half, but look what we're down to now here in this one with a total at 38 and a half. Maybe we do need to correct it. Maybe the weather's peaked a little bit here in Akron, and Akron is up to 4.5 point favorite at some spots. So we're also seeing a move to the favorite here with Akron. Wow. All right. In this one for the Zips at home, you figure they're coming in here with a 0-4, record in the MAC, but so is Kent State. This is a not a great matchup. Certainly, both these teams are pretty bad, coming in 1-7. We'll talk about this one maybe for too long here as we get into it a little bit, but I don't know. Did see some steam come in early this morning on Akron that looked pretty interesting. Uh, I kind of would tend to lead toward this move with Akron here. This is a bad matchup, like I said. Both teams terrible. Not much you can point to necessarily. Kent State, they their one win was against an FCS team. Other than that, they're 0-7 coming in, and they've been held under, I don't know, 250 yards in 6 of their 7 games. Kent State 4-12 against the spread. Their last 16 games, a road dog. Who's going to be? I see support out there for Kent State, but I can't get into that. Akron doesn't have much to show either. They're -8 in turnover ratio so far this season, and that's always been Akron's bugaboo. They are always giving the ball away to the other team. This is an absolute miserable game. Here's Ray. He'll bet it. He's on Akron. And we don't need to talk about this one too much, I would think. So I don't know. Akron, they've covered some spreads in conference with this coach. They're up to four. It doesn't feel very comfortable. Who wants to lay 4 points with a 1-7 team? But I don't know. That's probably what I would do. Akron doesn't cover any numbers either. They've uh, 18-31 against the spread in their last 49 games overall. I mean, that's 5 seasons of play and a really dismal record. Now, Kent, they've won 3 of the last 4 in the series and covered 3 of the last 4 of the series. Series is 6-2 to the under in the last 8 meetings, but man, this total continues to go low like this. I don't know. I would tend to think that this one maybe could be a, an over just because I don't think a again, I'm sure there's some weather we saw last night, all up through those games through in Ohio. That in Toledo there was snow. In the Central Michigan game there was snow as well. So, man, okay, but that total looks low. There, look, we're 2-0 last night going over, and I might just be willing to do it again here um, and go over. But let me take Akron. I'm going to go with the Zips and lay the points at home here on the Maction Tuesday night. All right. That's all right. We don't want to. Going to preview just a few more college football games here, you guys, for upcoming games, just to knock a few out here for the action this weekend. So let's take a look, shall we, and put some plays out there. A lot of great steam rolling in, man. I want to get off the air here, but do want to get a few more plays out if we can in college football for the weekend. Appreciate you guys. If you guys want to stick around as I get these college previews going for this week, we'll take a look at some games from the 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 block. Florida State and Pittsburgh. This is college football action for Saturday. You got the Seminoles on the road. They were just announced in the FBS standings here in the Final Four so far. The first poll that came out, the first review, and uh, if I can just take a moment to review the poll a little bit. Here, I actually want to do it more on the show, not on this video, but I just thought it was poignant and interesting and try to defend them a little bit as far as where we stand currently with the FBS standings because Ohio State, as well, the offense, they really haven't looked that good. Why do we have Ohio State necessarily as number one here over teams like Georgia or Michigan? Well, Ohio State did look, you can have all these other teams, right? And yeah, we're trying to weigh the whole body of work, but more so, just play well against the best teams that you can get on your schedule. Remember, when we're looking at these pollsters, these guys, they just want to look at the big games. They're not worried about, you're an SEC team and you took it out on an FCS team in week, 9, 63-0, getting your team ready for the post. It doesn't matter. They just want to know about the big games. So Ohio State beat Notre Dame, beat Penn State. Notre Dame's looked pretty darn good for whatever you want to say about them. Ohio State beat them. Penn State, we know how good of a season that they're having right now. Have they fallen, out of the top 10? Yeah, probably so. But did Ohio State beat them that day? Yes. So Georgia, well, they haven't even played a top 25 team. That's their problem. They're lucky maybe to be second right now. They haven't played a good schedule at all, but they've been rolling through it or whatever. And for Michigan, they've got an absolutely dreadful schedule that's ranked, like 100, over 100. So they're not taking into consideration the deal. They're not worried about that. in situation with Harbaugh or the assistants or anything. They're worried about this bad schedule. So the one thing Florida State has going for them is that big win over LSU. So those are the top four. Washington, look, they won over Oregon. They're number five. Oregon's number six. Pac-12, you're out again. Washington, look, something's going to happen to one of those two teams. And don't forget, Ohio State and Michigan. Michigan, you might need to win the game this year. I don't know. Anyways, Florida State and Pittsburgh here. Florida State 9-1 against the spread in their last 10 games overall on the road. I mean, Florida State's just been uh, doing a terrific job. What can you say? I mean, this has been awesome to see the Knowles come back so fast, so quickly at this point. What's going to stop them? Not Pittsburgh, I would think, at this point. Um, I think Florida State's looking absolutely terrific. Why couldn't they get this one by okay, it's 21 and a half. I get it. But here's the thing, right? No, you don't want to buy any points here. I actually would actually get off 21 and a half. I would make it 20 and a half. I would pay the 30 or 40 cents and still roll here with Florida State. I've got Florida State. I'll lay 21 and a half on the show here. I'll lay 22. I'll lay probably even 23 and a half points if I have to here on the show as a free play, but I like Florida State to win over Pittsburgh in this one. Look, Pittsburgh's 2-6. They're 1-6-1 against the spread. Hasn't been real good. Florida State continues to drub opposition. They've covered three straight. They beat up on Wake Forest last game, favored by 21. They beat them by 25 points on the road. So just equate it maybe with that one. Yeah, sure. Is it back-to-back road games? You got to lay 3 touchdowns? Yes, it is. I'm willing to do it here. Pittsburgh they lost that game. Talk about Notre Dame. Pittsburgh lost 58-7 at Notre Dame. They also lost at Wake Forest. They lost at Virginia Tech. They lost at West Virginia. So, all right, I'm going to take Florida State here. Lay the points. I will lay 21 points. I don't know if we're having enough consensus here, Ray, on this one, but you and me, if we're on them. Penn State, Maryland for Big Ten action here. This one's on Saturday. Here with Penn State on the road. It's down under double digits here at this point with 9.5 point spread, and this one was as high as 11.5. So, well, if anything, a little bit of a discount here on Penn State coming in with a 7-1 record, 2-1 on the road. Maryland, 5-3, but 4-1 at home. It should be noted here in this one. So, for Maryland, they actually haven't been that great at getting numbers of late, but they are getting points here. Penn State's 9-2 against the spread, their last 11 in conference, while Maryland is just 7-18 in conference of late. So, if anything, like I said, a little bit of a discount here on Penn State coming in this one. And I don't know, that's kind of the direction maybe that I was looking with this little bit of a discount here on Penn State. For the Terrapins, Talua Tagovailoa is up to 2,200 yards now so far this season. Maryland coming off that loss to Northwestern. It certainly was a stunner, but you got to give Northwestern a lot of credit for what they've done, considering what was going on this season with the team, with the program, the hazing incident that kind of set the program back a little bit and made them, go through about self-evaluation to a certain extent. So, still a big game, obviously, here for both teams, considering that at this point, Maryland's still sitting on a fifth on 5 wins. They probably should be able to get there, but still, you'd like to be able to be competitive in this one, getting the points. Penn State's off of the win against uh, Indiana, but they didn't come close to covering. We had Indiana in that one. It was 33-24. They also failed against the spread in that game to Ohio State in that big game. Remember that 20-12 um, 20-12 victory for the Buckeyes over the Nittany Lions in that big game. Steam play. Looks like the Raiders are getting steamed right now in that game this weekend. I'm not supposed to go off topic here and talk about college football, but Aiden O'Connell, the notes came in. Aiden O'Connell expected to start, and the Raiders took the steam. So it looks like Sharps are kind of on to Aiden O'Connell a little bit. Let's get more comments from you, Penn State and Maryland. Here's Thomas Lewis is on Maryland. And Ray says, give me the over in this one. And boy, that's the way the direction kind of looked to me to a certain extent. But man, the money here, this Penn State push here kind of late does have my attention. And especially laying just a single digits now on the road. So I'm going to end up on Penn State. I think I can get with this now. The widely reported steam did come in on Maryland, but like I said, this line was as high as 11.5, and now it's 9.5. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Nittany Lions here on the road minus 9.5. Virginia Tech and Louisville college football action for Saturday. In this one, we have Louisville at home. What a season it's been for the Ville. They come into this one 7-1, 4-0 at home. Virginia Tech's 4-4 with an 0-3 record on the road thus far. And in this one, Louisville down to 9.5. Interestingly, this move has been all Virginia Tech really going forward. And give Virginia Tech credit; they've been able to cover some numbers even on the road. With I mean, even though they've lost the road games, they now have covered 4 straight. All the momentum is with Virginia Tech at this point. The line here opened as high as Louisville, generally open at 10.5, but I saw an opener as high as 12. And now you're talking about Virginia Tech. This line is all the way down to 9.5. I do feel like this one's probably going to be a lower scoring game. The total opened as high as 53.5, and it's all the way down to 48.5 on what certainly has to be characterized as a pretty solid move by the Sharps. It looks to be like this 5-point move to the under has to be respected. And it's probably something that I could even get behind. But more so, I think I'm going to end up taking these points. It's getting away from me now. I don't think I can go premium here at 9.5. I definitely would buy it up here. Make sure I get the 10, 10.5, 11, whatever you want to do to make yourself feel a little bit more comfortable. If you're going to ride with me here, I'd want to make sure I get maximum value here with Virginia Tech. I'd probably take another point or two and lay a little juice. That's what I do. I don't care. I want to have every tool in my belt. I want to have all the tools in the arsenal. And for me, I'm going to take Virginia Tech here. Look, Virginia Tech isn't covering numbers long term, but looks like in the short term they've made some big time strides. Have they been able to use the home field advantage a little bit? Yeah, but they also, like I said, got numbers on the road as well. That FSU game stood out. Earlier in the season, they weren't covering on the road, but since then, they crushed Syracuse last week. They destroyed Wake Forest at home. They destroyed Pitt at home and played well on the road at FSU despite a 22-point loss. They did get the money. So Virginia Tech seems to be on the improve here a little bit. I'll take Tech. All right, the one everyone's talking about between Iowa and Northwestern this Saturday with the total that opened 29.5 at some spots. It's just you want to make fun of it, laugh, say it's ridiculous, but nobody didn't see it coming. That was totally expected that we were going to get the lowest total of the season or in a long, long time here. And we did see actually a total with Iowa last year that was nearly as low. It's since gone up. So, which way is this one going to go? Like I said, this one's being played at Wrigley Field. Makes you wonder with such a high total, were they going to just play the whole field and they'd have to run in circles or whatever? Now, the configuration, I believe, at Wrigley Field is you play from third base to right field. If you know third baseline to right, so like um, if you know what if you know what's like down the first base line. That's the direction the ball goes that back and forth that way from um, out to right field is the configuration at Wrigley Field. They played here. They've played football before in they've played football in Wrigley Field for a long, long time. They've only recently started to come back here and play. Northwestern played a game here before the. I will say this: the brick wall. They do put some. They put padding in front of it, but it's close, man. That field is really tight in that right field where it goes into the brick wall, if I remember correctly. So we'll see. We'll see what the weather is as well. I mean, it could be cold here to a certain extent. I was on the road, favored in this one by 5, it says here right now. Let's take a look. I'm showing it mostly 5, mostly 31 currently right now. And I don't know. I want to take Northwestern. I think things have been going pretty good for Northwestern all of a sudden. Yeah, Iowa's 6-2. I get that. But Northwestern, they've covered 4. They're 4-4. 4-4 against the spread as well. They're coming off a couple of covers. They just beat Maryland, of course, in that upset. We were definitely giving Northwestern a big, big shot in that game. Northwestern also got the money at Nebraska. We had them there as well. So I think we pretty much have a good feel for this team. But here's Ray on Iowa, and Thomas says Iowa and the under. He's going under 31 here. I don't know what I'm doing on the total. Maybe I'm holding it back for a premium. Maybe it's just too ridiculous to do anything with. Here, it's almost funny, right? Maybe you could get a total. Maybe you could get the total to go over. Look, Northwestern's gone over in 5 of their 8 games, but Iowa, the team more known for the unders, is 2-6 to the under. Mike says Northwestern does mow their lawn, and don't like I said, Mike. This game is being played in Wrigley Field, where I do expect it to still be kind of thick, but I do expect a more reasonably manicured football field here. Even though I do believe that the grounds crew, I don't know. I'm just speculating that that will be. Yes, I think Wrigley Field, but I think probably some football people from Northwestern here will be in there helping or decide, determinations. Again, a game like this does take, certainly a couple weeks worth of preparation and all that. So while I do still think it will be kind of northwesterny as far as the grass is concerned, I don't think we'll see it quite as thick and luscious as it is in Evanston. But that is funny nonetheless here. But again, this game played in Wrigley Field. I'll take Northwestern. That's a home field advantage for me, Wrigley Field here. Yeah, it's not at home, but this is going to be fun, worth watching, and is also, I believe, the NBC Big Ten feature. Critical notice. All right, I just want to get a few more games out here. I don't know how long I can go on these. We got to get out of here and keep it moving. Illinois and Minnesota here in this one with Minnesota at home. We got more Big Ten action here. Minnesota favored by two. The total 43, 43 and a half or so in this one. And for me, this total opened at 42 and a half. It's now up to 43 or so. I'm going to look to go over with these two teams in this one. The line move here, it was opened around Minnesota -4, did go down to -3, though I did see some look aheads that had Minnesota as high as a 6 point favorite in this one. So, if anything, it's given us a little bit of value in the game to look at. But I think I'm going to end up on the over here with these two teams, with Illinois at Minnesota. For uh, Minnesota, they're 4-1 straight up at home so far this season, while Illinois comes in 3-5. But it should be noted 1-7 so far against the spread. And even though Minnesota, I think, generally known for more right now, 9-3-1, their last 13 games to the under as a favorite. But I think I prefer over in this game right now. Minnesota, they won a game, not necessarily a similar game, but they beat Louisiana at home in a game that featured 59 points earlier this season, about a month ago. And Minnesota coming off a couple of wins. They beat Michigan State. They beat Iowa. It was only 12-10, of course, but that was against Iowa. And Illinois did go over in their last game. They did lose that one. It was against Wisconsin, 25-21. That game had 46 points. So this has been a pretty solid under series, but last year's game was 26-14. That still would go under this number, but I am going over here with Illinois and Minnesota over the 43. Houston and Baylor, college football action. This one's for Saturday. You got Houston coming in winless on the road. Baylor with a dismal 1-5 home record so far this season. These two teams haven't been too good right now. Houston recently served with some papers by the NFL to stop wearing those Houston Oilers inspired uniforms. Hey, go to hell, NFL. Those are cool. And you guys just stay in your own lane, all right? Let the Cougars do what they want. What are you doing, NFL? Get your own house in order. Anyways, Houston and Baylor. Look, for me in this one, you got Houston. They've gone over in 21 of their last 30 games on the road. Baylor's gone over in 10 of their last 14 conference games. So I wasn't sure necessarily about the side in this one. Baylor, after all, they're really crummy against the spread, just 2-5 so far this season, and they're not covering numbers at all. While Houston, I don't know, they've been definitely a little bit better of a cover, but getting 4 points. Let me check that line, but. Getting 4 points, I just wasn't feeling too great about that. And the total here at 50, oh boy, I'm showing even some 58 and a halves now. I better just take it over on the show as a free play. Maybe too high to go premium now. I saw an opener as low as 55 and a half. This is 3 points higher than that. So give me the over here with Houston and Baylor as my selection in this one. Thank you, guys. I'm sorry I missed your picks there on the Minnesota game, but I appreciate all those. All right. Well, sad, sad day. Gonna be some shedding some tears here by the end of this one with Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. It looks like the end of Bedlam, unfortunately, for these two schools. That's sad. Sad. You've got to find a way to extend this series. You cannot let this series die. You can schedule a non-conference game at this point, though. there are no plans to do so, and that's too bad. So this should be awesome here because it's at Oklahoma State. Oklahoma's 7-1. Oklahoma State is 6-2. This is going to be just an awesome, terrific game. But I don't think it's going to be all that wild, like I think many people might be expecting here. I wasn't sure on the side necessarily, or not sure I wanted to allude too much to the side anyway. So maybe I'll kind of keep it brief here as far as what my play, you know, don't want to tip my hand too much as far as what I was going to do on the side here. But Oklahoma State has been such a solid under at home, 6-2 their last 8 games. They're also 15-7 their last 22 as an underdog, and just the nature of this. I do not. I think the crowd, the excitement, everything that's going to be going on with this game. The fans, everyone knows this is not feeling great, that this game is going to be, not going to, this series is not going to be continued right now. Oklahoma's awesome, no doubt about it, with Gabriel and everything. But remember, Oklahoma State's had some really interesting results at home. They've won 4 straight right now with 4 straight covers as well. They beat Cincinnati by 32 points. They beat Kansas by a touchdown, and they beat Kansas State by a touchdown, covering the spread in all of those. They also went on the road and beat West Virginia and covered that one as well. Oklahoma State's in a great position here to send this series off with probably an upset victory, I would think. We'll see. I'll take the under as my play. I expect Oklahoma State to have an absolutely wonderful time in this one and make Oklahoma regret that they're the one that doesn't. To me, I don't know. Having read the stories, having read the reasons why, yeah, we know because Oklahoma's moving on to the SEC, but does feel like you know Oklahoma is the one that maybe isn't going to sign the contract right now, and that's just too bad. So correct me if I'm wrong on that. Please get me back if I have that backwards. But again, it's not something that's really been talked about too much, I don't think, in the media, or been in too many stories about why they won't try to find a way. But give me the under and go Cowboys. All right, one last one here just to get done. We'll get out of here. Missouri and Georgia State. Missouri and Georgia State, Missouri and Georgia. We already talked about the FBS poll and where Georgia stands. They're fine. Win out and you're in. Georgia is going to be going here as long as they can keep it going, but might as well line up a good opponent. This is going to be one of the featured attractions of the day, certainly. I don't care if the spread is 16 points. You got a Missouri team coming in here with a 7-1 record. They played pretty well. I think their offense is just fine with Brady Cook. I mean, what can you say? Missouri's had an absolutely terrific season. They certainly would feel like they're going to be live here in this one, getting points against Georgia. We'll see, but I think they can bring a little bit of defense. I think we'll get a real rough and tumble game between these two teams that could keep Missouri in the game and within the number here. Last year, Missouri covered the spread. They were 31-point underdogs at home and lost just 26-21. And that was impressive as far as I was concerned, and maybe what has me on them here. Missouri's covered 6 of the last 8 meetings between these two teams, and I am going to be looking to go under, though, as my play here on the show. Maybe I'm reserving the side for later, but if you're going to tell me that this thing has 54, let me look at that line, 54.5, is that the line? Yeah, 50. Oh, I better call it 54.5 because I want to go under in this one. Look, this is a time of the year when Missouri kind of gets better on defense. They play a lot of under games in conference. Middle of the season, their defense is just fine. They'll be on the road here. They've gone under here. Let's see. Well, Missouri's an over team this season, so I guess I'm just relying on my brain and tradition to a certain extent. But also, relying on the value to me. Look, this one was as high as 56 and a half. Now it's down to 54 and a half. I have seen as low as 53 and a half, including some openers when we were on that line show on Sunday. It was 53 and a half. I'm going to go under 54 and a half here with Missouri and Georgia. All right, we got to get out of here. Thank you for spending another 2.5 hours with me every day. A couple dozen of you that hung out all the way, talking about all the sports and all that. Check me out over at Tony'sPicks.com. We got a 5 pack up right now for just $25. Hook up with me, you guys. It's coming. Really treading water here and trying to find a winning streak and just keep uh, you know having some if you're a customer a subscriber, you've seen I'm not giving you any bad beat stories. You've seen the games that we've been on a little bit, and it's just a matter of time before we break through here for another winning streak. All right, head on over to Tony'sPicks.com. Use promo code Tony T at checkout. Save 20% off all premium pick packages, including mine. For today, you can click on the All Cappers tab. There you can find the handicapper of your choice. Click on their handicapper profile page, and you can get signed up. There you see the packages, my records from the past. There's my Wednesday night early release 5 pack premium pass. You can pick it up right now. Just $25. Get you my top plays, $5 a piece. Add that promo code. That'll take off 20%. $4 a piece for the 5 plays, or just grab a 3-day, 5-day, 3-day, 7-day, 30-day package from me. Get my picks. It supports me here to keep me on the air. Don't look at it as if you're paying X number of dollars for X number of picks. Please consider, hey, I'm going to get Ramon's week long package. Take a ride with him on some plays, and I get the commissions from all my sales. That's why I do this. That's why I come on the air, and you're supporting me. So thank you very much. If you are, coming in to listen to me, we're trying to give you some great sports betting information. I'm not looking for big time attention or anything. Yeah, do we want to make a little money? Sure, that's why I'm here. But really, just to be able to have some followers and talk to you guys really makes me feel like I'm not wasting my life here watching all these games. Get to share it with you guys a little bit. I don't have a bunch of people around saying partying every night, watching the games. Oh yeah, sneak out of the sports book here and there. But all right, you guys, thank you so much. Catch you tomorrow with more mornings team, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific. Thanks for everything as always. You guys make this so very important to me. Thank you so much. Catch you tomorrow with more morning steam for the action on Thursday. We got Thursday night football tomorrow in the NFL. We'll also have some college football, NBA, NHL, and maybe we'll talk about upcoming World Series. We'll see. Could be over by tonight. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. For Tony'sPicks.com, this has been Ramon Scott.